Hey, so in this episode, we're going to be talking about relationships. And I'm going to have my friend Emma, who is going to chat with me. So we're just going to have a chat about relationships. And I'll also be ranting a little about, my thoughts on relationships too, where, it had like impacted me and just overall, just how that's going to be. So yeah, hi. I just want to talk about, relationships. And I wanted to go over how hard it can be. And it's something that I think is super difficult, obviously. And for me, as a 21-year-old, I am going to go out into the world and meet women and talk to them. And already me, I'm a like very introverted person. I already feel like I suck at talking to women. I feel like none of them have any interest in me, and I always feel like, oh shoot, I need to, I need to look better. I need to, you know, be more built. That's how I feel like in order to like get attention from other women or get them to notice me and maybe be interested in me. And I realized, that's not how it works. You just have to be yourself, but you also need to get that confidence, something that I did not have when I first started even doing anything. I'm even surprised I even got a girlfriend in my first relationship. I was like, what? And the amount of overthinking of my anxious attachment was horrible. It got to the point where, that's where I ended the relationship because it was so much to me, I couldn't handle that. And I was only 19, by the way, which is super young. For me, it was my first relationship. I had no clue what I was doing. I had these whole ideas of what I thought relationships were supposed to be like, where you like go out with them and you have fun. And I didn't really think about, you are supposed to like go out with them and learn about them. Learn about, what they like, what they love, what they hate, and all that stuff. You need to get to learn and know them as a person. And I think after that, start, just loving them. Love them. Just love them. That's it. And another thing I never understood is cheating. Why would you cheat? Why do people cheat? That is something that I've always thought about, and I see in the movies and everywhere, and I hear people doing it, and I hate it. It's like, why can't you just communicate with your partner, being like, hey, I don't think it's gonna work out. Maybe it's because they believe. I know I'm assuming. Maybe they think or believe we're like, hey, if I cheat on them, it's fine because then I still keep them. It's like, bro, no. Like when you cheat on someone, they're gonna be like, no, I don't want you in my life. But they should have done that before in the first place, before going and cheating. Like, why do you need to cheat? I don't understand it. If you're not happy with the person, you need to communicate. Something I'm gonna keep working on is communicating and talking to women. And honestly, oh my gosh, with college right now, it's so hard to talk to women. I just don't know what to do. Like, I'd be walking down the halls and I'd be smiling, and I hope like, I'm not being too weird or making them awkward. And I just have no idea like what to even say, because in my head, not only I'm thinking about how do I talk to them, are they going to be interested in me, or like, I need to think first. I need to breathe. I need to think first of like, who are they, what do they like to do. I can't go straight into, oh my gosh, there's a girl, I gotta date her right away. No, I need to slow down my brain and be like, hey, it's nice to meet you, my name's Gabriel, what's your name? And then see how far it goes from there. So yeah, relationships are really tough, and something that I've always like been envious of other people whenever they had it, and it's always been a struggle for me. And I don't know, I just think about relationships a lot, and which is why I wanted to start a podcast about relationships, because of how much of my opinion and thoughts about it on relationships. Even though I don't know as much, I still want to learn so much more about it, and it's like intriguing, and I want to be in a good relationship, a healthy relationship. Something that I think is really shown a lot in movies too, where how unhealthy relationships can get. So, but obviously I've never been in one. I hope I don't. I really hope I'm not the abuser. I hope someone doesn't abuse me, but it might happen. Who knows? I just know that's how life is gonna be. So you just saw my reaction of how I was thinking about relationships and how I felt like whenever I was walking down the hall at my college, I would, see a girl and I would immediately think like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't creep her out, I don't want to appear that way. That's something that I just don't want to do. And also I talked about how there's kind of like abuses in relationships. Oh yeah, I talked about jealousy and how like I feel jealous and envious in relationships that I see from other people. So yeah, I like to hear your reaction. Obviously, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, so I have a reaction, but I also have a couple questions too. And I think when I was like kind of watching that video and I feel like I just learned three new things about you, which I'm curious about. Um, so when you say that like even like when you simply like smile at someone and you automatically go to like, oh my gosh, like they think I'm so weird, they think I'm a creep, especially if it's a woman. Why do you think your brain instantaneously brings you there?
I think it's because many things that guys can do, women are just like they give it like an ick. They're like, ew, that's gross, and I don't want to come off that way, and I'm always afraid.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was the jealousy versus envious. So say when you see someone in like a healthy relationship and you're envious of that or you're jealous of that, where do you think internally that stems from?
I think it definitely has a lot to do with like after my relationship where I was seeing other people being happy and I was like, damn, I really wanted that to me. Like, why couldn't that happen to me? And then there's also times where I was like kind of angry where it's like, how dare they have a good relationship and me being here all alone, you know? But yeah.
Okay, so kind of like from your past experience, that's where it really
I think so.
almost kind of comes from.
I actually don't quite remember a lot about what I felt about other relationships before I was in one.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense then. And I think the last thing I wanted to talk about was you mentioned abuse in relationship, and I just wanted to see, oh, well, what, yeah, kind of like what you meant by that and how you feel about that in different ways. Yeah.
So I've definitely seen like a bunch of movies where like there is a bunch of abuse, and I think about like, damn, how did that even get to that point? And I think it was something that like I kind of feared in my own relationship where I was like, oh no, what if I get to that point? What if I get too angry and I do something and I'm like, I hope that doesn't happen, and that always scares me. And I guess I think about it every now and then where I was like, oh, wow.
That's interesting. So you're kind of taking like things that you've seen and almost applying it to yourself, like moving forward, like whether it would be like from a movie or a show or whatever you were saying. So like when you move forward in your next relationship or meeting with somebody that you're interested in, that I guess like for all three things, are you trying to make sure that like they all don't apply? Or are you trying to make sure that you're very much aware of them, like all the different sides, if that makes sense?
So like between like jealousy, envious, and like abuse and all that stuff.
Kind of, yeah, like almost like thinking, sorry, I'm like grabbing the mic from you, but just like thinking that like like what makes you go like so in your head? Because I feel like all of those things like are really valid yet strong emotions, and I'm wondering like what makes you think like it's almost like they just seem like they're constantly like, especially if like you're meeting with someone that you think that you may or may not have like a potential relationship with, or you want to pursue that. Like why do those things automatically almost fire through you?
I think it's because like they're really important in relationships, and how much they can affect a relationship. And I think for me, I just always like think a lot, whether it be overthinking or just thinking in general. I always think, about relationships and what can happen when you're in one, and some good positives and some negatives that can happen in it. So I always want to try and learn my best from them. So that's what I'm trying to do. today.
Oh, that's really interesting. So you're almost taking like your past experiences, learning from them, and then moving forward, almost, making sure that they're not that they won't happen again, but that it's different. That you're just learning from what happened. Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.